Well, hi, this is Jay Arthur, author of Lean Six Sigma Demystified and the QI Macros. Years ago, I started in software development, and I went through structured programming and waterfall methodology, and I even invented my own called rapid evolutionary development, which is kind of a precursor of what's now known as Agile. And the same thing happened with quality, right? There were quality circles, and then TQM, and then Six Sigma, and everything has been evolving, right, as we learn something about these processes. Well, the dominant method in software development has always been the waterfall model for a very long time. And if you think about a waterfall, right, it comes off of a cliff and comes down and crashes onto the rocks below, right? So we had requirements, design, code, test, system test, and the software would escape, usually not with the features and the functionality, and often with too many bugs that our people did not want. All right, so now the guy who actually originally coined this metaphor, Dr. Royce, didn't understand why people didn't get it, that you were supposed to be able to go loop to loop back, right? You're supposed to just keep looping back until you got everything kind of straightened out. Well, waterfalls don't go backwards, do they? Now, what I'd like you to think about too is the same thing's true with DMAIC, right? So we have define, measure, analyze, improve, control. And again, it's very much presented as a waterfall kind of model, right? First you have to define, then you have the problem, then you have to come up with some measurements, and then you have to analyze, then you have to improve, then you control. Well, you know, most of the time you already know what the problem is and you already have measurements about it. Most companies have lots of measurements about things. So you might be able to enter this process anywhere. You might start at analyze. Maybe the root cause is so obvious you can go straight to improve. Maybe your process really needs just to be brought under control. And it is only rarely that you need to define a new measurement. I've seen teams get trapped trying to build a new measurement when measurements already exist for what they're trying to do. Now, if you think about the old TQM model, right, it was a loop. Plan, do, check, and act. Or plan, do, study, act. It was a loop, right? Even the picture was a loop, right? So it had iteration built into it. Does this make sense? Now, if I was going to think about this a little differently, you know, the model I came up with in between TQM and Six Sigma, I said, well, we need to focus, improve, sustain, and honor our progress. So you focus the improvement, you make the improvement, you sustain the improvement, you honor your progress, and you continue. It was an iterative process. And so FISH is another model that are out there, right, that I came up with for myself. So this is the kind of thing I want you to think about is DMAIC is kind of a waterfall model, and it really, I think, slows us down. All right, so maybe it's just that we need to analyze, improve, control, analyze, improve, control, analyze, improve, control. Maybe that's what we should do, right? Or maybe it's analyze, improve, control. I don't care where you put the AIC. That's the thing we could do repeatedly and quickly. Especially if we've got the data, we can go out and we can start analyzing existing data automatically. And that's the whole idea of Agile, Lean Six Sigma, is you jump right in wherever it belongs, pick the tools that you need at that point. Often, again, a control chart, Pareto chart, histogram, fishbone, something of that nature. From a lean perspective, value stream mapping, spaghetti diagramming, jump right in and then start to iterate. It's all very iterative. Agile is a very iterative. Let's build improvements and design improvements and implement improvements right now. Does this make sense? So these are very different models, and I think sometimes we get tangled up in the lingo and the jargon and the nonsense that we talk about in Six Sigma. No, let's just go start analyzing, improving, and controlling. And I'm telling you, if you start in any business, there's plenty of data, and you can get started today. And with the QI macros, you can quickly and easily turn all of that data into intelligence that tells you exactly where to fix things, pinpointing where to fix things. So I'm Jay Arthur. That's my improvement insight for this week.